Congress to remove the deadline. But once we do have the ERA in place, we still need to make equality a lived reality. So what sort of things do you think your generation can do to help us get over the final hump?
I think that, especially with my generation, Gen Z has been so open and vocal, specifically online, and that's motivated movements even outside of social media, in the street, in workplaces, schools, everywhere I look, I get rooting back to the way that people are unafraid to find any way that they can get their message heard. And I feel like any way that a person can think of within these next few weeks, take it and just do it. I think that specifically there's so many creative and logical and so many different ways that you approach getting change made. And I encourage anyone and everyone to do so, because it doesn't go unnoticed, and it absolutely is seen.
So what do you think Susie would do if she were talking about the ERA on Stranger Things? What would she do to advance the ERA?
I think that she'd probably hack into the government. But I think that she, specifically being an educated woman in STEM, I think that she would find a very scientific, logical way to bring out the facts of the matter. Very factual person. And I think she would get to hacking, and she would start writing, and she would make a bunch of essays, a bunch of scientific essays.
I think that's great. We could promote them on Woman Corp and on the ERA Coalition. I don't want to let you go without asking a little bit more. You mentioned that the ERA is for everyone, talking about the LGBTQ plus communities, for men, for people across the country. And I just want to uplift that, and just if you had any more thoughts about just why it's important to support not just women's rights. When we talk about, we're talking about sex equality, it's not just women, as you pointed out. It's trans women, it's men, it's people who are from a variety and the gender spectrum. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about, but the importance of recognizing that when we talk about women's rights, in order to be more inclusive, we have to understand that women's rights are folded into the rights of all groups that are being marginalized. So I didn't know if you had any thoughts about how we can uplift the LGBTQ plus community in the work we're doing with Woman Corp, just to recognize that when we say women, we mean anyone who identifies as a woman, but also looking at sex rights as a whole, not just for women.
I think that in terms of the government, the gender spectrum is not necessarily something that is even starting to be brought up in full, especially with how that it is. And I know that when it is brought up, and I usually just see things being passed to take away rights, so many people in so many different communities. And I feel like, specifically with Woman Corp, personally, I use she, they pronouns, and I identify as non-binary, but I also am a woman. And I feel like taking a role in Woman Corp has really helped me kind of connect with the shared struggle that, even though I don't always necessarily identify as a woman, I feel like it's still a right being taken away from me, and it is something that affects so many people, not just, a specific group of people. And I feel because of that, we have all united, and we can all unite even more within the next few weeks. And it can be really hard to know that you're not necessarily protected, but I think that we all protect each other. And I think that no matter what, we will be there for each other. And I hope that, you know, anyone and everyone can see just how important it is for people to have rights, all people.
I don't think there's a better way to end this conversation. So I want to say thank you so much, Gabby, for joining us today with the Woman Corp takeover of the ERA Coalition campaign. Again, folks, we are with Gabby Pizzolo. She is the CEO of Woman Corp. And thank you, Gabby, for all your work on this campaign and for uplifting the message. So for those of you who are out there, make sure to visit womancorp.org and take action this week and next week, calling your senators to get them to vote to remove the time limit on the Equal Rights Amendment. Gabby, you are awesome. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend, and keep having fun out there. It's fun following you. So take care. All right.
You too.
Bye. Bye.